right, 25 minutes before 10 o'clock. A few months ago, believe it or not, it was Thanksgiving, and we had an event here in Ocala called Light Up Ocala. It was the beginning of the Christmas season, and Robin, you and I went out with a video camera to the event. There was a lot of people there, and we were asking people just different questions. And one of the questions was, instead of asking people, who are you thankful for, we said, who is thankful for you? And it was interesting to see the response because everybody expects the question to be, who are you thankful for, right?
Yes.
So they would think, and it was kind of the sweetest thing because you would see people kind of think about that. Well, who is thankful for me, you know? Mm-hmm. If somebody loves you, you are so blessed. And when I say loves you, I'm talking about, I'm not necessarily talking about your sweetheart, but if you have a sweetheart, good for you. My gosh, that's a blessing and a half, or two blessings in one. Your mother might love you, your children might love you, your neighbor might love you. There's so many, your sister, your brother, they all might love you. If you had a good childhood, then good for you. I had a good one. And whenever I hear about somebody who did not have a good one, I always say, my gosh, I was so blessed and so lucky. John Neyland is on the phone. He's got a book. It's called How to Live the Life You've Yet to Dream. I love this. Part memoir, part blueprint to leave a positive mark on life. It says here he works with disadvantaged youth, so he has seen his share of the bad stuff that this world can dish out. He himself, it says here, grew up in an abusive home, and he's gone on to do great things. He's the president and an investment advisor representative at JCN Financial, which is a tax planning group, I think. So let's talk about the book, How to Live the Life You've Yet to Dream, with John Neyland. Good morning, John. Thank you for being on the air with us today.
Good morning. Great introduction, and wonderful to be here.
Oh, where are you? Where are you calling from?
I'm in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Louisiana? Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
You've had your share of bad weather lately. How's it today?
Well, that's really nothing new here. It's pretty today. But it really was nothing that got my radar going yesterday. It's pretty common.
Yeah, okay. So did you grow up there? Is that where you grew up?
Yeah, sure did, my whole life.
When you were going through the bad times that you had, and I don't mean to be too personal unless it applies, so you kind of let me know if I'm going the wrong way or not.
Well, first off, you can't be too personal.
Okay, thank you. So did it defeat you at any point, or did you always have this inner voice that said, you know what, I'm going to get out of this one day and make good things for myself?
Yeah, that's the truth. I remember I was 5 years old. I'd lay in my backyard looking up at the clouds. I was 5 years old, the blue sky, white clouds. And I can remember thinking, look at the clouds and thinking, I can do anything. And so I never invested my energy in any negative thing in my life. If it's a bad thing, once it's gone, it's gone. And I invest my energy in where I want to go and where I want to be.
So it says, the title is intriguing, How to Live the Life You've Yet to Dream.
Yeah.
That sounds like the future. That's the future haven't even dreamed about yet.
Most people don't dream. We're taught, we have certain pivot points we're taught at a very young age that inhibit our dreaming. We're one of the biggest things we're taught is fear. You're born on this earth and you don't, won't, can't, couldn't, shouldn't, wouldn't. Yeah. Your whole life you're taught TV, radio tells you to fear, and then your kids go to college and you incorporate the same thing into their college education. Get this education, get this career, because that way you can make a living, not really what you most want to do. So every day, I look at my life every day at the last 4 hours of my life. If this right now I have 4 hours left to live, what is most important to have occurred? And whatever those things are, that's what I spend my time investing on a daily basis trying to achieve.
I love what you just said right there. And whenever we've had debates about euthanasia for ourselves, like should we be able to decide that we want to, and I know there are some stories of people who probably should be allowed to do that, I guess. But I've always thought if you have one last breath, it may not be about you. It may be about that person that needs to hear I love you, or that person that needs to hear I forgive you, that kind of thing.
Oh, my God, yes. I want to be, I know what I want to be. I grew up in a very, very abusive household. My father beat my mother with his fist, beat us with his fist. My mother tried to commit suicide numerous times in my childhood, times when we would actually drive her to the hospital when she's overdosed.
Oh, my God.
And, what I learned is that at the end of the day, we have a finite amount of energy. Where are we going to invest it? In something bad or something good? And I see no return invested in bad memories. So it's that's my focus. I think that at the end of the day, my life, your life, our lives, what really matters in our lives is how we leave people in our wake.
And this is very appropriate because Valentine's Day is approaching on Tuesday, and each day should be special and not just one day out of the year.
Man, you took the words out of my mouth. Well, you stop and think about that. What do we put in front of our spouses? We get married. We date with a fury. And by the way, I never want to be married. I want to date forever. So we date. Really, I have a girlfriend. I have a wife. I have a girlfriend. But what do you put in front of your wife? How many people on their deathbed say, well, I wish I'd worked 8 more hours. I wish I'd pulled an extra overtime shift. I wish I went to another ball game with a friend rather than spending time with my wife.
Right.
And, I think that by focusing on what's most important in your last 4 hours of life, you're more likely to get it.
Are we obligated to love people who have not been good to us, if they are our parents or if they are our siblings? Or do you love your parents? Are they?
Sure, unequivocally do. My both parents have passed, and it was by any measurement, it was a very difficult childhood. But I tell you what makes it easier to love them. I believe that anybody I will ever meet is doing the best they can at that moment in time. That may not be my best. May not be your best, but I think it's their best. And I think that love, but in its nature, is unconditional. I feel great sorrow for my father because he had to have had tremendous pain in his life, and I forgave him fully about 12 years ago. And I can say that I will tell you that I don't like my father, but love and like are two different things.
Oh, I see. Okay. So how did you become an investment advisor and not a pastor? It sounds like you would be a great pastor.
Well, I'll leave it in my heart, buddy. That's why I said you can't ask me nothing too personal. I believe in being straightforward and honest. My mother-in-law had been widowed, and she was having trouble with her money and finances, and she had been beleaguering me, asking me about it, and I said, I know nothing about it, just tell the man you want something safe. And one day, she got me to go down with her to her financial advisor's office, and I was so flabbergasted in how he talked to both of us that I went into business. First off, learned how to help her, and then I thought to myself, other people might need help too, so I made it a career.
Was he being condescending to you guys?
Well, what happened was, she'd been with it 12 years, and so every time she expressed worry, he would tell us, don't worry, it always comes back. And I said, listen, buddy, I heard that, but my mother-in-law still worried. And so he goes, well, don't worry. 3 times in a row, when I told him we're concerned, he said, don't worry, it always comes back. So I just had to assume he wasn't listening to me.
Right.
And so it wasn't about, the conversation wasn't about my mother-in-law, it was about his perspective.
Yeah.
And by the way, half my business, half my life here in 2 years is purely in doing things that don't make me nonprofit activities.
Right.
I've got a website, johnneyland.com, and you see some of the young men that I've helped. I've been mentoring young men for 17 years now, since he was 13, and he came through really the depths of a terrible life in the ghettos. Now he's a successful father of 4.
What was your secret to that success? How did you turn him around?
Well, I believe this, that I can't make you do anything, and I don't believe in giving you advice unless you ask for it. So all I did, I was there for him. I modeled for him. I tried to be an example for him, tried to let him see my life. Never really told him what to do, but he saw what I had. He wanted what I have. And he was at my house the other day, and in the book I talk about one of the pivot points in life is don't compromise. We're taught to compromise. And you should not compromise about matters of the heart. The car you drive, the house you live in, that's not a compromise. But your values don't compromise. And interesting enough, I was mentioning this that night. He leaves the house. He calls me, John, what you doing like compromise? I don't understand what you're saying. So by seeing my life, he saw what he wanted to have. And I just modeled for this kid, and I was always there for him. When I told him I was going to do something, I did it, which is not what he'd had in his life prior to that. And by the way, I am nothing special. I'm as average as the average person you'll ever meet in your life. The difference may be I know what it's like to need help and not have it. So I have a thirst to help people.
John, I love what you're saying. I just went to the website and I saw the book. I got a picture now up on the streaming video of this podcast that we're doing. So you can see it's kind of a blurry image of you, but the picture of the book is in focus.
Good.
Okay, so the book is called How to Live the Life You've Yet to Dream. The website that we got is John's name, johnneyland.com, JOHNNEYLAND. It looks almost like Johnnyland when you look at it
it does.
As one word. Well, that'll be your future. That'll be your theme park or something. Anything else we should leave with the listeners so they know how to get the book?
You can go to the website and get it, or you can go to Amazon.com and search John Neyland.
Okay.
And it'll come up.
And of course, we'll put this video podcast up on YouTube and Facebook. And if you want to share it, you are welcome to do that. And listeners, the same is for you as well. John, thank you for being on the air with us today. Good stuff.
Sir, you have been the most empathetic host I've ever interviewed with. Thank you.
Oh, I love that. We'll be right back.
Are you in need of custom screen printing, embroidery, or promotional items? Then look no further and come visit the brand new Legacy Team Sales. LTS is conveniently located off 17th Street next to Armstrong Homes in beautiful Ocala. We offer the best prices and highest quality products for your company, team, school, or nonprofit. Whether looking for screen printed shirts, embroidered polos, or travel team uniforms, you'll be sure to find it at Legacy Team Sales. Come visit our new 27,000 square foot facility. Our friendly and knowledgeable sales staff will assist you in every part of your custom purchase. LTS carries the hottest brands in the industry like Under Armour,